A lot of stuff happened. What's up, guys? Andrew here on my channel, Gear Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And on my channel, that's PC tech, games, and gear. And now with Christmas behind us, it's time to go over the juiciest tech news that you may have missed over the last week, obviously spending time with your family and friends. The first thing I want to dive right into, AMD may not be honoring RMAs for their new 7900 XT and XTXs. According to some sources, supposedly the junction temperature, which is the hottest spot that AMD's software records, of 110 degrees Celsius, which, by the way, is supposedly the highest number that it will take before it starts thermal bottlenecking, although I speak for all of us, I think, when I say
something ain't right. Something is off, brother. Something is off right now.
Is apparently within normal operating parameters. So AMD says that this is normal for their GPUs, at least these new ones, and that there's nothing to be alarmed about. Although, again, I don't think any gamer is comfortable seeing temperatures, at least even if it's just technically the hottest spot on the GPU, reaching 110 degrees Celsius. Now, AMD is working on RDNA 3 drivers and some optimizations. They have said that they do expect these temperatures to go down, but again, as somebody who's considering getting a 7900 XT and or XTX anyway, when I can, and swapping it with my GPU, it makes me a little bit nervous. So hopefully you guys are having a better experience. In other GPU news, the 4070 Ti is starting to pop up everywhere. First off, with some benchmarks comparative to the 3090 Ti, showing that it's going to compete in the same realm, either trading blows, and according to a survey done by WCCF Tech, basically that's what most people think is going to be the case. But essentially, the 3070 Ti, guys, is just a reskinned 4080 with less gigabytes of VRAM. This was the whole conundrum that Nvidia had a while ago. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny, working in the industry, but the rumor around the tech mill is that essentially these GPUs have been sitting for 6 to 8 months ready to go, and the only reason they didn't come out is because Nvidia obviously took a lot of flack for essentially having something that was supposedly supposed to be originally a 4070. It's weird that they've done this because this is the first time I've ever seen a Ti version come out before the baseline version. It's usually the other way around. So anyway, Nvidia is going to do what they can do because obviously nobody can stop them, at least not yet. Speaking of which, these GPUs are starting to pop up for purchase in some countries for $1,400 USD. Now, obviously, we expect MSRP to be more competitive, probably around the $1,000 mark to compete with the 7900 XTX, which is a problem because besides the temperatures that I mentioned earlier, the XTX really competes with the 4080, outright beating it most of the time. And so where this slots in terms of price to performance, we're going to have to wait to see, because right now it competes with the 3090 Ti, but if AMD can get their temperatures under control and they will honor their RMA, the 7900 XT and XTX seems like the better value. In more AMD news, Ryzen CPUs have gone down in price. Due to the lack of interest in the new Ryzen 7000 series, AMD has been forced to slash their prices, which, hey, it's good for us consumers. If you're wanting to hop on the new AM5 platform, CPUs across the board have dropped as much as $130 per CPU. This is fantastic for people who are either Team Red or, want some better competition, at least when it comes to price, against Intel, which has been pretty dominant with their 13th gen Intel CPUs. Now, obviously, if you need to get a new system right away, a 7000 CPU is probably a good idea, but you may want to wait because we have some big news coming out of CES. So again, rumor around the tech mill as someone who works in the industry, and no, I'm not confirming, denying, this is rumor, pure rumor and speculation, but probably AMD is going to be the keynote speaker at CES this year, starting around January 3rd and going through the 8th, and they are essentially going to be talking about their new products coming out. And supposedly they're going to be announcing their X Series 3D 7000 CPUs. So for you guys who don't know, currently the 5000 3XD, which uses their 3D NAND, is competitive with the top end CPUs from both Intel and AMD. This technology coming to the 7000 series would put it squarely ahead of Intel in terms of performance, although there are concerns because the 7000 series CPUs do run fairly hot. The NAND, essentially stacked NAND, makes those CPUs run even hotter. So it remains to be seen what the performance on these is going to look like. One thing too is that currently the 5000 3DX essentially has lower multi-core scores than the rest of the stack, even though it has higher gaming scores. So there may be some give and take when it comes to these new CPUs, but everyone's pretty excited for them because you know, supposedly they may be as much as 25% faster for gaming over current generation Intel. We're going to have to wait and see. So that's the decision a lot of you guys are going to have to make. And finally, I want to end with some GPU news that is just straight out ridiculous. So supposedly the Nvidia Titan card, a card that is aimed at content creators, not gamers, although that is certainly not how Nvidia is going to market it, is going to be coming to the market sometime in the next couple of months. Pictured from Moore's Law, apparently the GPU is using the exact same cooler configuration as the current generation of 4090 and 4080 founders, although it's supposed to be a 4-slot card, apparently. That's the rumor anyway. Alongside that, this is going to be a monstrous GPU requiring 900 watts of power, which, you know, might as well strap 2 PSUs to your computer, I guess, and using 2 of the new 16-pin connectors. Or if, you know, you want to run adapters, you're going to need 8-pin adapters to run this mammoth GPU with 48 gigabytes of VRAM. Now, in terms of gaming performance, supposedly it's going to be like 15 to 20% faster, but with 20 or 48 gigabytes of VRAM, this GPU is going to clock in price-wise somewhere around like $2,500. Like, it's not going to be $100 or $200 more. Again, this is supposed to be the content creators, but the 4090 is already such a massive power draw, and it's so performative for content creators. I don't know where this fits in the lineup, except for the fact that they want to make a Titan and people will pay for it. That's the nastiest thing about Nvidia, is that they know that there are people out there like me who want to have the best available. And it sucks because everybody else in the market gets priced out because these things don't make sense. Like a 900 watt GPU, whatever. AMD, thankfully, you know, temperatures aside, 7000 series is getting competitive. Intel stuff, I did some benchmarks on ARC recently. They need to definitely step up their game. We need more competition. This is getting just out of hand. Anyway, guys, that's the tech news you may have missed over, you know, the holiday. I hope all of you enjoyed it. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Remember that the Intel Arc GPU giveaway is still going strong, and that'll be down in the description below. And I will continue to do kind of like one of these weekly tech updates just to keep you guys in the know, for you know, who don't follow tech news like I do. But I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see all of you next time here on Geared Inc.